What is up, my friends, and welcome to another video. Today I felt like doing some Protoss torturing of the Grandmasters on the ladder. And the idea I had for today was just to rush Tier 3 capital ships, basically. What I thought was that I could make a different one depending on the race of my opponent. So I figured out if I played against Terran, I can go for one base carrier or maybe two base carrier, some kind of carrier rush. Against Zerg, I can go for the Tempest rush. And against Protoss, both of those would be pretty tragic. So I'm going to do something that perhaps sounds even crazier, and that is the Mothership rush. Now, that is a strategy I've won with before. Probably on accident, more so than, you know, a strategy that should actually work, but I guess that goes for most of my stuff, so it is what it is. Now, you can do stuff like going for a 4-gate. I also had the idea of going for a proxy. This sounds really dumb. You can go for a proxy nexus, make the Mothership from there, and then recall into their main base. Because if you have to send it from your own main base, it takes a freaking long time to arrive, so that's a little bit annoying. Slightly late on that probe, so I wasn't able to block him. Now, how do I want to do the mind games here? I could go for the fastest possible 2-base Tempest. I could also go for like a semi 3-base... Where's the spawning pool, by the way? I could also go for like a semi 3-base Tempest, I guess, where I make one Oracle, maybe? I think that sounds alright. One Oracle, and then go straight into the Fleet Beacon, make a 3rd base, skip like every unit from that point on, and then make Tempest that way. I feel like that would also be a decent strategy. But I feel like the one I'm most comfortable with is just going to be a simple 2-base Tempest rush, and then normally I would stop at like 5. I kind of feel like just making 1,000,000 of them, and not quite sure if that's a good idea, but I guess we'll see. Hey, another cool strategy would be... Hear me out. We go for Tempest. Then normally the reason why you stop building Tempest is because they get Corruptors out. But what if I go like 5 Tempest? That's enough to one-shot a Queen. Could also go for 3 Tempest. That's enough to 2-shot a Queen. And then go for Void Rays with speed after, because I already have the Fleet Beacon. I don't think that's something I've tried before. I guess what looks okay. So the Corruptors are going to finish. I like how I'm just trying to theorize this entire thing out before we even have an indication that it's going to go that way. But the Corruptors are going to come out to shoot down my Tempest, right? Then I'm going to recall them in time, so I should save my 3 or 5 Tempest or whatever it is. And then if I have, let's say, at least 1 shield battery at home, followed by, let's say, 3 Void Rays that can turn on Prismatic Alignment, I feel like that should work. So as long as the Tempest get enough damage done, I think we could find ourselves in a pretty good position. Yeah, I'm actually quite excited for this idea. Let's give that a shot. Now first I'm going to try and harass him with 2 Adepts. Wouldn't be surprised if Zerglings run into my base. Feels like a move that just every Zerg player started doing at some point, and it's really annoying, but you also can't really do anything about it. Now do we go... I want to go for a Void Ray here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a Void Ray to kill this. Actually, I'll make a Phoenix. Why not? Let's try a Phoenix. Okay, then I'm gonna make yet another Adept. Should I fake the 3rd base already or not yet? I'm not 100% sure. Oh, that was an accident. Oopsie. I was about to cancel that, but I failed. You could tell that he also expected me to cancel it. Can I get one, please? Let me. Okay, it's not gonna happen, unfortunately. I'm just gonna send this guy back. I think that's the right idea. Okay, now I'm gonna start an Oracle on that one. That's an unfortunate shade, because what I wanted to do was shade him with 2 Adepts, and that way I would be able to get some damage done. Okay, Phoenixes are really horribly slow at killing Overlords. I kind of regret going for the Phoenix instead of the Void Ray here. It's really not that bad, but still. Okay, let's do a double Chrono boost on my next eye. Yeah, he's gonna try to deny the 3rd base. Obviously, it doesn't exist yet. So I don't have to make the 2nd Stargate yet, because I want to get, like I mentioned, 3 or 5 Tempests, so it's completely fine if you just make 1 Tempest, and then you have 2 Stargates to make multiple from. That's pretty much the idea. Probably make it now. I guess I'm not going to have infinite Chrono Boost. Didn't make a Spore, surprisingly. Oh, this guy is so greedy. Oh, it kind of hurts my soul to watch that, actually. He saw that I was producing an Oracle, and he didn't even make a Spore. I mean, he probably just read into the fact that it was a fake, but it's still kind of a sick read to make, right? When you can just lose every single drone super easily. Now I'm going to shade out with a couple of Adepts. Actually, oh, okay, he's barely going to realize that, unfortunately. Now, that's actually a really good moment for me, because now it might look to him like I shaded out with a lot of Adepts. I really like that. Now what I can do is I'm going to shade these back at the correct timing. Let's make a pylon. I messed up all my camera hotkeys annoyingly enough. I'm going to shade these back home. And now we're going to see if I can get a couple of drones. Looks like he's just in position. Made a couple of extra links though. That is what we really like to see. Gonna keep chrono boosting this one. Okay, that was, well, actually a somewhat successful fake, I would say. This one is gonna be safe. Oh, actually these adepts are gonna be able to be just chilling over here, I think. Don't want to give him too much surface area. He's not aware of the Tempest so far. You can very clearly tell because he's still making more Zerglings. Well, he's going to see this one adept. Going to warp in a couple more over here. At this point, I would say that he should start being suspicious about my follow-up here for sure. Let's chrono boost this guy. And I think we're going to go for the 5 Tempest, mostly because he's just been making a lot of links. He went for +1 attack. Probably has it already, actually. Oh, not yet, okay. Well, he went for +1 attack or armor, but it's very likely just to be attack before going for a Spire. So I think his Corruptors are going to be late. And for that reason, I think we can go for 5 without risking any of my units really dying. Phoenix is actually going to help potentially by lifting up a Queen, which would be funny. So now I go for the 3rd base here. And then I think... Actually, I'm going to send 2 more Adepts over there, just in case. Let's see. Oh, could it be Banelings? It could totally be Banelings, actually. Okay, let's morph a couple more. Okay, let's see. She hasn't made them yet. I do have a good amount of Adepts over here. It's 5 Adepts. Really not going to be that easy to go up against. Looks like he still didn't make Spores, by the way. Because if he did make Spores, he would have just moved it to the front instead of... Actually, I think my Adepts are just freaking winning right now. Look at this. Okay, he didn't transfuse that, which is great. Just gonna shoot down the Spore Crawler as well. Dude, my Adepts actually did win. That's freaking crazy, isn't it? Okay, let's get a 3rd Stargate. And now something important is we're gonna get Air Attack. Because Air Attack is super good on Void Rays. Okay, here we go. Now my Tempest are gonna move across the map. That one would be super nice to kill that one with the Transfuses. Not gonna happen, sadly. Get a battery over here. Warp in a couple more Adepts because he's sending even more links across the map. Okay. Now I have 5 Tempests. Should be able to one-shot these Queens now. That's going to be Queen number 1. There we go. Yeah, it's so nice. He's actually completely out of Queens at this point. That's going to survive as well. I would imagine the Corruptors are on the way already. I'm kind of surprised he's actually going for this with the Link still, but I guess he doesn't have much else to do. These Adepts are going to win the fight as well. Then I'm going to get my Void Rays out. And now, next step, those are probably Corruptors, if I had to guess. So now I just need to make sure I'm on point with the recall, basically. I'm going to try to get 1 more hatchery over here. That is ideal. That's pretty much what you want to do. You just snipe the hatcheries and then you recall out. Oh, I need to get Void Ray speed, of course. Void Ray speed would be beautiful to have. Here we go. Let's get a battery per base 2. Oh, there are the Corruptors out. Let's go for a recall. I'm going to lose 1, but that's okay. Actually, lost 2 there. So a slightly suboptimal, but still not bad. And now my Void Rays, let's see if they can actually cover for the freaking Tempest against the Corruptors. I do have the battery over here. 4 Void Rays, actually. Very nice. Okay, I mean, this build seems kind of nuts, if you ask me. I really don't think I executed this particularly well or anything. It's just... really just a first try. Okay, here he is. He's gonna... Yeah, look at that. Wow, 2 of them get one-shot instantly. That is freaking brutal. I think what I should have done here, ideally, is to only activate... yeah, he's just gonna GG out. Makes complete sense, because I think he's actually... He didn't even have this base yet. I think it's just finished. What I should have done here, tip for you guys, is you just activate half of the Void Rays, okay? Because the Prismatic Alignment cooldown is pretty long. You guys can't see it, but even now, it's not even 1/4 recharge yet for the ability to come back. So what you want to do is you activate half of them so he can't just dip and come back, right? So you activate 3 out of the 5 and then the next 2 and then you're going to get more online. But hey, this build genuinely looked pretty disgusting. And this really was the first try. I didn't like a bunch of things. Lost my first Adept like an absolute idiot, right? Shading it by accident. Then I made the Phoenix instead of the Void Ray, which I also didn't like. I just thought it would be a cheaper unit, right? So I could get to the Void Rays faster, but in the end, still pretty expensive. It doesn't kill Overlords fast and the Phoenix doesn't help me later on either, right? Like, you can lift Queens, but you more likely want to be kiting than not. Admittedly, I do think his build was very nice for us. The Adept Shade 100% did the trick. Because look at this. He went for the +1 melee, but then he also went for the Roach Warren. So for a second, I think he was convinced that it was going to be Glaive Adepts. Now, he did make enough drones. So it's kind of 50-50. I think the build was good for us, but he also was like kind of greedy at the same time. So I think it's 50-50. We're definitely going to fight better and worse builds to go up against. But first attempt, really love the Void Ray follow-up. If I didn't have the Void Rays, you could see I would need so many Stalkers to deal with the Corruptors. Void Rays did fantastic. Let's go to game number 2. Game number 2 is going to be against a Grandmaster Barcode Terran on Winter Madness. Now for this game, I'm going to try the most absurd version of any of these rushes that you're going to see. And that is the 1 base +1. For some reason I thought it was +2, but no, +1. +1 carrier proxy rush, okay? It's a build that I actually thought was legit pretty good against Terran. It's really not something that you would expect, but for some reason it just works out. Admittedly, it really relies a lot on heavy mind games, of course, because if they know you're playing just literal 1 base carrier, it's kind of hard to imagine that they wouldn't be able to come up with a counter, right? So what I'm gonna do is proxy the Stargate far away from both my main base and his base. I was thinking maybe like the bottom left over here. Then I maybe even chrono boost like some gateway units to his base or something, so he thinks it's like a fast attack I'm going for kind of thing. And then hopefully we can hit him unaware with a couple of carriers. And then I actually remember doing this as well when I did this previously, is that we can expand, and we would expand here, right? Just next to where the Stargate is. So if he finds it, yeah, I mean, it's going to be next to the carrier, so it's as safe as it can be. I'm not saying it's going to be entirely safe, but it's going to be as safe as it can be, of course. And I guess it also reduces the likelihood that it does get scouted, right? Because let's say you or that anything gets scouted, I should say. Because let's say you build something top right and top left, then they're going to scout. It's twice as likely that they scout one of your things, no matter which one it is. Let's see, do we make a Zealot? For some reason, I feel like building a Zealot here. I guess it's just going to add to the confusion a little bit, right? If I send a Zealot to his base. Then we get +1 on the cybernetic score. Probably we fake Warp Gate, I would say. We fake Warp Gate and then we get +1 attack. And we build a fleet beacon at the proxy. I'm trying to just go through the motions to see if I'm forgetting something, but that sounds right to me. Okay. So I got this, then I'm gonna send a Chrono Boosted Stalker after it. That Chrono Boosted Stalker is pretty much the fake, right? See, get 2 hits on that. No, barely not, unfortunately. Get a second pylon over here, maybe that would be okay. Maybe I can hold position this a little bit just to kind of juke the Reaper that is probably coming. Now, I'm not gonna make another unit after this Stalker, so I can actually afford more stuff. I'm building a battery here, so we're gonna be safe from the Reaper. If he does send a unit here, we can always either recall the Stalker or just build another one, right? Before the battery runs out of energy. Let's see. Do I make +1 attack already? I think we... Yeah, we actually can. Yeah, I'll get +1 attack already now. Okay. There we go. Yeah, the fleet beacon. Only need 1 more trip of gas. And then let's see if we can find any damage over here. Haven't started another unit. That is a normal Reaper expand, so that is nice to see. I could probably kill this one. I imagine there's a bunker up there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to kill that. That is a Widow Mine, most likely. Or a Widow Mine or a Hellion. Either way, I really don't mind it that much. Now, do I Chrono Boost my +1 or do I Chrono Boost my carriers? It's kind of a hard decision right now. Oh my goodness. Wow. I didn't... That is kind of crazy by him. Okay, I actually do not appreciate this move by him at all, because... That is extremely greedy for someone who thinks I'm doing a 1 base all-in. But okay, obviously it's my fault, right? I should have been paying attention. But that is honestly kind of crazy what he just did. Okay, that is not... Oh, I feel bad now because I'm promoting that kind of behavior to you guys. You guys are now going to walk down your ramp and die to 5 Stalkers and just lose the game instantly. So that's my bad. If that does happen to you, it's my bad, okay? And we're going to start building some carriers over here. What do I make at home? Ugh, this is tough. Like, I lost my map control now because I lost the units. If I was him, now I would actually go across the map because it just looks incredibly weird. Like, he needs some kind of information, right? But okay. I could make another battery here, I guess, as well. Yeah, let's do that. We'll make another battery. Okay, now he's gonna find my carrier proxy. He's gonna be like, okay, what on earth is wrong with you? Valid question, if I'm being honest. And I'm gonna recall a bunch of my workers over there. There we go. Second carrier's on the way. And now what is he gonna do? I actually don't really know. I mean, it's kind of hard to predict what people would do in this kind of situation, right? He could totally just try and attack my main base, and then we're gonna find ourselves in like a base trading kind of scenario, I suppose. Now, should I just go for another Stargate here? My economy is pretty decent, right? I think I can actually do that, yeah. Okay, I needed one chrono boost. Should I maybe not have recalled the probes? Pretty reasonable, actually. Let me just target that medevac down real quick, I guess. Okay, let's go back over here. I do need this... maybe I can attack with the probes and kind of... Oh, look at that Widow Mine Splash! That's actually beautiful. The Widow Mine Splash is awesome. I'm gonna have to repair that. Okay, probes are coming in now. The medevac is gonna fall, and my one carrier is gonna clean up this entire attack, looks like. I do need the other one, though. Oh, I don't have an energy recharge available. I need my next carrier, please. Yes, there we go. Okay, beautiful. And I'm just going to target the Cyclones one by one. Actually, get this Cyclone next, I think, because it's going to die pretty fast. Exactly. Then we can target down the Viking. Dude, look how good they are, man. It's crazy, right? They're actually just so freaking strong. They have +1 attack as well. So it's so freaking hard to stop these. Now, I do need to make sure I get another carrier out here, of course. Let's keep trying to boost my next carrier. I'm really surprised that it finished, by the way. Not gonna lie. You guys probably were surprised. I'm equally surprised because that was crazy talk. Okay, now I don't actually have to repower the fleet beacon, which is nice. Let's see if I can just kill some stuff real quick so we can snowball a little harder. That is ideal. Okay, guess I might as well just kill this turret real quick. There we go. Gonna go for the Viking. The Viking is an easy target. Now we're gonna get the Cyclone as well, I think. Exactly. Look at this. Like, it's actually crazy how strong they are. Look at that. Guys, what is this? It's so insane. They're actually so freaking strong. With the +1 attack, it's just brutal. Now, I know he's making 2 Vikings at the same time, but maybe I can actually... I can almost kill that. It's legit so close to me being able to kill that one. Let me just target the SCVs one by one. I got another carrier showing up soon. Now I think we're gonna back off just a little bit so my next carrier can join in. Gonna go for... Oh, I don't have space over here. Okay, I might as well repower them at this point. I'm gonna go for carrier number 4. I can also get +2 attack on this. Now, this cheese is actually so disgusting, right? Like, it's... I feel like every one of you thought this was just, like, the biggest disaster ever, and it honestly kind of was a disaster, but still, you know? Still, it's this freaking powerful. Now, at this point, he's probably building turrets now. That's gonna make it a little bit harder. I mean, you can always break the natural instead, I think. Okay, so he's gonna go for a second starport. That makes sense. Now, my interceptors are out, and he's just gonna get one shot, I think. Look at this. It's not even gonna die. I think it's crazy. It's so crazy. This is actually disgusting. The Vikings are gonna finish and they're gonna die instantly, I think. Okay, so he does have a decent amount up there. Let me just... I might as well try and kill this starport, I guess. Yeah, let me kill that one. The Marines are now gonna fall. Let me pull the low HP carriers back. W is called, which is probably a little bit of a... What do you call it? When you don't want to type GG and you just type something. Sometimes Koreans type GG like that by typing WW, I guess, because of the keyboard. But oh my, this is just so brutal. It is such a strong build somehow. 5.3k. Grandmaster Terran scouts me from the start. I lose my units like an absolute idiot over here. Then he fights here. I am completely unprepared. I'm taking extra gases. There's just one battery. And somehow, one carrier with +1 attack with a second one finishing just kills this entire thing. Isn't this just insanity? Like, look at the supply over here. It's 50 against 35. He has enough money to just spam turrets. He made turrets, Cyclones, Marines, and Vikings, and he still couldn't deal with just 2 carriers. And here, actually, a little bit of a thing, if you guys are going to do this, with my gas, I could have actually started +2 attack here, and it would have been finished by the end. This cheese is absolutely insane. Let's go to game number 3. Game 3 is actually going to be against Braddock. Okay, a player that is definitely very familiar with my antics. And we're going to put him to the test here because we are going to go for that proxy carrier build once more. Now, this map I think is going to be a little more tricky because this map is pretty small, I think. So it's going to be a little easier for him to scout me. If he wants to attack me, that's going to arrive a little faster as well. Now, hopefully this game, I do not lose my early units for absolutely no reason. So that is going to make a positive impact for our own build, right? But I suppose we'll see. Did I like everything that I did in the previous game with my chrono boost and stuff? I was missing 1 chrono boost for the carriers. And I used that chrono... I used the chrono boost on the Stalker. You could argue that it was the recall that I used, but I basically used that chrono boost on the Stalker. So I could also just not do that one. I could also not recall my probes, but I think recalling the probes is actually kind of nice. If I had to choose, I would say that we're gonna skip the chrono boost on the Stalker. Besides that, I think it was all pretty good. I could have started my +1 attack a little bit earlier. I think that is correct. I remember thinking that I started it a little bit late when I actually could have afforded it before the first carrier even. Excuse me. Should be fleet beacon, then +1, then carrier. I think that's what I should have done, right? And that sounds about correct to me. Okay, let's get another pylon up here. We're gonna go for the Zealot again, I guess. Okay, does it fit? It fits perfectly fine. Doesn't have to be super fast, right? I could have made it before the pylon, but no, actually this is perfectly fine. Core is gonna take 26 more seconds to finish. Actually, pretty much exact timing of the Zealot, so that is gonna work out just perfectly. Now he's gonna scout my base, and this is when it gets tricky. An Artosilope. Okay, I'm never gonna remember that name, but at least now I can pretend to have studied the, you know, the nature on the maps. I bet there's a couple of you out there that know, like, all the names of all the critters and stuff. Couldn't be me, but bravo to you guys, because that's actually quite impressive. Okay, so Zealot's gonna come across the map. Need a battery over here. And then... Wait, I guess they're +1 before the fleet beacon too. Is that maybe what I wanted to do last time? It's a little crazy. I mean, I'm gonna have more than enough gas. Yeah, I think this is actually the way it is, because I'm gonna have more than enough gas. I mean, it's a good fake anyway, right? Like, it's... If he scouts my base now, it looks like I'm building warp gates, so that is perfectly fine. Battery's gonna be in time for a Reaper. Zealot is hopefully gonna find a little bit of damage, but probably not, because he did scout me after all. Well, let's see. Yeah, this is the right way to do it. Like, I'm gonna be able to build my fleet beacon and stuff. This is nice. Now, let's see what he has over here. I do want to build that fleet beacon on time, of course. It is a bunker with a delayed... Is that a reactor first? No, it's not. Well, he has 3 Marines, so I imagine it's not, but it's not 100% sure about it, okay. Now we can make the Nexus. Now, this is just gonna be like a really good denial. I'm gonna show him my Stalker, even though obviously I can't do anything with these units. Like, I want him to know that I'm very big and scary. That's the entire purpose for that. Okay. Can I start making probes again? I think I actually can't. If I make probes, I think I wouldn't be able to afford the carriers. The reason why I don't have the Chrono Boost +1, by the way, is because I really only want it for my second carrier. The last game it was useful, right? Because I got it early. Actually, no, could not have afforded a probe. Look at this. Actually, it's really close to perfect, this build order, right? Like, I had 45 minerals, I think, when I started that carrier. That is really not bad. Now, I'm gonna preemptively make a second pylon here this time, so the same thing doesn't happen. Now I can start making probes again. As you can see, he is pretty terrified. I'm gonna keep my Zealot over here. Actually, I think I should keep the Stalker. Yeah, I think I should keep the Stalker over here. Okay, so he's gonna see the Zealot. He might have the Cyclone, though. I kind of think that he would have the Cyclone. Yeah, exactly, okay. Maybe I can stop him from killing that. Is that a possibility? Okay. Can I out-micro a Cyclone? Is this possible? No, right? Oh my goodness, it's so close! No, it's 1 HP, I think! I think it was quite literally 1 HP. Oh my god, that's insane. Okay, carrier number 2. Let's chrono boost that bad boy. Now I do indeed have an extra chrono boost. Yeah, so that should work out perfectly. We go for the recall over here. He should really know that I just have a hidden expansion at this point, because... I mean, he scouted my base thoroughly multiple times and there was nothing there. I'm once again gonna go for that second battery. Because I still wouldn't be surprised if he goes to attack this base. Okay, so maybe I can... Looks so dumb. I don't think he saw it. Like, he knows I have the base. I don't think he saw the carriers, though. Okay, I mean, it's getting a little scary here, right? But what he might do is try to attack this with all of his units. And then he's going to run into 2 +1 carriers. Which really is not an easy armor to go up against, as you guys have seen in that last game. Here we go. 2 +1 carriers are ready. I start chrono boosting this guy, and now we move across. Oh, this is actually walled off. Oh. Wait, I need to check here then. He could have his army right there, and I wouldn't know, because that is walled off. I'd actually... is it just a Cyclone? Oh, yeah, it's actually just a Cyclone. Then I'm going to go across. I think that sounds smarter. Okay. I try to surround this Cyclone. Hey! Yes! Let's go, baby. That's actually pretty huge. There we go. Okay, so we get that. And now we're going to be in his face. Let me just target down this bunker real quick. I think it is actually going to die because the carriers just do too much damage. Okay, the bunker falls. The Marines inside are all going to die as well. He already lost the Cyclone. Keep that in mind because of the probes earlier. Can he do anything against this? I'm not convinced he can, honestly. I'm genuinely not convinced he can do anything against this. Like, I know I sound a little bit too cold. Like, look at this. Oh, I'm so evil. Guys, I am so evil. Someone has to stop me, man. This is just so brutal. Oh my god. Like, there's nothing he can do, I think. I genuinely think there's nothing he can do. I'm gonna get my +2 attack now. Gonna make another carrier. Like, he's... Oh, is that gonna die? Barely not. Okay, I might as well kill this reactor, actually, while I'm at it. And let's get a second Stargate too. That's now gonna die. Yeah, you can't go anywhere near a carrier, unfortunately, my friend. And there's nothing he can do. He just died. The bunker is... I don't think it's even repairable. The bunker is gonna die. The Vikings to finish are gonna die. He's flat times is smiling because he knows it's so ridiculous. But yet there's nothing he can do. Resources lost. 440 against 3354. Like, he had all these minerals, but he can't actually spend it. Oh, because look at this. Like, I think the pro pool to kill the SCV actually kind of clutched this game. Let's see when it happened. So it happened like a little bit before this, right? Look at this. So at this point, the SCV dies. If at this point he saw the carriers, right? Just look at it, right? Engineering bay. He will cancel this Raven, swap it over to the reactor, Cyclones with Macfield. All of a sudden, this game is 10 times harder. This Propel killing the worker actually might have won this game for us because he made a Raven, he continued making tanks. He's gonna not scout it. This actually, look at the timing on that. Really? Did he not see it? Oh my, because of the vision block. Oh, this is more disgusting the more you watch it. Yeah. No, I think this probably deserves the title of the most disgusting Protoss cheese of 2025. I didn't even invent it this year, or it probably wasn't done this year for the first time, but it's just, like, look at this crap, man. Like, every Terran gets tortured. Like, this is just insane. I should stop with this. I should also do this the first day of 2026, so I can be like, this is the most disgusting cheese of 2026. But alright, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Hope you guys had a fantastic time with my cheeses. Tempest Rush looked very strong. Carrier Rush looked even stronger. Protoss Tier 3 capital ships continuing to prove very, very powerful. And that's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys had a fantastic time. If you did, give a video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all for the next one. Adios.